Hi everyone, Lewis here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another DayZ Standalone update video. I haven't done one of these in a while, and devs have actually released not only a small gameplay, footage, cinematic trailer kind of thing, as you can see right here, but also a few screenshots showing off some new features, and I've also got some new information on when exactly the release date for DayZ Standalone is, since, you know, we've heard a lot of different dates, but obviously none of them have actually became the official release date. So, naming a few things which I noticed in this trailer, which is of course a session Rocket had with a few of our testers on multiplayer. I'm not 100% sure on this, but the zombies look like they might have ragdolls. It's something Rocket's talked about before, and obviously that would add a lot to the atmosphere instead of, you know, the DayZ mod. When you shoot zombies, it just doesn't feel like you're killing a zombie. It feels like you're kind of killing the player and they would just fall down and die. But the zombies do look, at least if they don't have ragdolls, they've got new animations for when they die, which is pretty cool. You can see, since there is a lot of players here, they've added a shit ton of clothing. It's one of the biggest things they wanted to focus on for the DayZ Standalone. So the situation of, is that you, Jimmy? And then end up friendly firing isn't going to happen as much, or at least it's going to be a bit easier to deal with since we've got such variations of the clothing. You can see everyone here has got different clothing in some way or another. You know, you can get shoes, you can get vests, you can get everything. And it does make it completely different to some of the mods for DayZ, and even the original DayZ. Like, it just feels like you're a military soldier going around with all of your gear and whatnot. But in this, you can see you've got civilian clothing, and you're just trying to survive in the apocalypse, which is a pretty cool thing to see in action. And with all that added new items, it does also, mean you've got a lot of things to go ahead and find. If you want to get a certain vest, it's going to take a long time for you to go ahead and do that. You can see the combat walk in this trailer as well, just raising your weapon and being able to walk a bit faster. It's something which was an armor free as well, but it does make it a bit easier for, all the new buildings with close quarters and whatnot. You can see as well here, we've actually got a new hostage animation system kind of thing. So you can actually put your hands up behind your head, you can put them on your head, put your hands behind the back, and you can see right here, I've actually forced a hostage to take off his pants. So if you want to go ahead and take someone hostage and force them to take off their clothing, you can do that. Also, Rocket's talking about the possibility of having cable ties, which again will make hostage taking a lot easier than it's ever been in the DayZ mod before. Here as well, you see the new injured animation, so you'll be able to tell someone's health by just looking at them, whereas, in the DayZ mod, no matter what your blood's at, you don't really have any visual impact on the character itself, unless of course you're below 3,000 blood, in which case you pass out every so often. But you can see this guy's holding his chest, and I'm guessing there might be several different stages to this, because you can see at the end of the clip the guy's holding his stomach, but then just before that he wasn't holding his stomach, but he's still limping. So maybe the player is able to shoot people in the limbs and stuff like that, and actually impact the player in terms of him shaking, or a limp, or being shot in the stomach, and maybe you can have to hold your stomach, that kind of stuff, and just small things which add a bit to the atmosphere. That's it for the cinematic gameplay section of the video. Rocket does actually continue for about 4 minutes after that, talking about various different things, but I just thought I'd give you guys a TLDR and give you my opinions on all the things which Rocket said in the video. I will have a link to the full video in the description below if you do want to go ahead and check that out, but the screenshots which I'm going to be showing you guys now are from the dev blog. They didn't really write anything at all on the dev blog other than that there is still no confirmed release date for the DayZ Standalone, which I'll talk a bit about later, and that all the screenshots are took from the multiplayer pre-alpha testing. Something tells me Rocket's played a bit too much Payday 2 recently, and he's now got a massive fetish for hostage taking, as you'll be able to see from not only the video, but all of these screenshots as well. So you can see right here, we've got a lovely little hostage, and I don't know what they're going to do for him. Maybe strip him naked, take his weapon, who the hell knows. But all things which Rocket talked about, you might have noticed in the video, is there's a new M4. Originally, the only weapon in the DayZ Standalone was the AK, because it will be redoing all of the weapons in the DayZ Standalone. So this M4 is a new model, or maybe not necessarily a new model, but, a redone model from original Arma 2, or wherever the hell else we got it. But we're using the new M4 with the attachment system as a basis for the rest of the weapons added in the DayZ Standalone. So we probably want to have the same amount of attachments or similar attachments. For the M4, you can see a few different attachments in not only the screenshots, but also a video I just shown you, like a bayonet. You can get a red dot. I'm guessing there might be ACOGs, M203s, a lot of different things you can attach on your weapon, maybe a Sansa as well. And I guess we're just going to have similar things on every weapon. Like I said, want to make sure we've got a decent amount of attachments for every single weapon. So that way, not only is player customization a massive thing in a game, having your own unique look and being able to really progress in that sense, but also for weapons as well. You might find a good weapon, but it's really not going to be what you want until you get something like an ACOG sight, a silencer, an M203 launcher, and all that kind of stuff to add on top of your original weapon. Another thing Rocket talked about is a new bleeding system, so that way where you actually shoot someone from is going to be the source of the blood. You might think that's something originally in the DayZ mod, that when you shoot people they bleed, but the thing is, in the DayZ mod, when you shoot someone, they don't actually bleed from where you shot them at. So say for example you shoot someone in the bum, and all of a sudden they're bleeding profusely from their head. It doesn't really make too much sense, but now in the DayZ mod, if you shoot someone in the leg, they're going to be bleeding from the leg, and that might also impact the world around them. It's something people have wanted in the game, but obviously it's pretty resource intensive comprehensive, but making it so if you shoot someone, if they don't bandage up for a long time, you're able to follow a blood trail, which would be pretty cool for all the new buildings added in with DayZ Standalone as well. You might have noticed it in a video as well, but you should be able to see some graphical improvements looking from the DayZ mod to DayZ Standalone. Of course, we are using a slightly different engine than the DayZ mod. DayZ is using the Arma 2 engine, whereas Standalone is using a modified take on Helicopter's engine, which is just a bit newer than the Arma 2 original engine. You can see the pond in front of players right here, which you should have seen also in a video. It's looking really cool. The new lighting and all that kind of stuff. Although, of course, you know, you might think it's going to sacrifice FPS, but it's definitely something Rocket is still aiming for the DayZ Standalone. To make sure pretty much, well, not anyone's PC, but it should be a lot easier to run than the DayZ mod, which is well known, but running really, really badly. So all of this looks cool and dandy, but now on to the slightly worse news, which is of course the discussion of when the hell the DayZ Standalone is coming out. So of course, as you've seen in the actual blog, they did say that there's no confirmed release date. I think Rocket's finally learned his lesson in terms of PR. He said a lot of different dates, and, you know, I don't blame him for being optimistic. You don't want to be really down on it and be like, oh yeah, it's going to be like 2 years until it comes out, something like that. But Rocket has even admitted some of the dates he said are a bit too optimistic, I guess. You know, the original date of December, then pushing back to April, then June, July, August, and he said 2 months recently. Well, 2 months, I think, at E3 or something like that. And yeah, basically all of that is void, and Rocket is no longer going to say when the hell it's coming out, and instead they're going to be doing a monthly assessment, I guess, kind of thing, of the DayZ Alpha or the DayZ Pre-Alpha, and once they deem it worthy of a public release, a Alpha public release, they will then release it to the public as it is appropriate. So basically, we don't know when the hell it's going to be coming out. It could be coming out 2014. To be honest, I know it might be a bit frustrating, but it's better to have a game which is actually fun than a game which is completely shit. You know, looking a few months ago, the game has improved a lot since then. To be honest, I feel we shouldn't really be focusing too much on all these features with the hostage taken, with bleeding, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's cool stuff, but I feel they should have really focused on the core game before that. But it's nice to hear at least that, you know, when the alpha does come out, we're still going to have a lot of new features to play with, like the radio system. They've shown at Rezzed. I haven't shown you guys that in the video or any of my recent overview kind of videos on the DayZ Standalone, but the radios are looking really cool. I'll have a link to that in the description below, in fact, if you do want to go ahead and check that out. But there's a lot of new gameplay devices found in the DayZ Standalone, which at least, like I said, we'll have a fun time playing with when the alpha release eventually happens. But that's pretty much it for all the news for DayZ Standalone. Like I said, I will have a link to all the videos which I've talked about in the description below, and also a link of a dev blog if you want to go ahead and check out the screenshots for yourself. I would definitely recommend checking out the Rezzed presentation, which, like I said, shows off the radio and a few other new systems which Rocket hasn't shown anywhere else, and lots of people seem to have missed it entirely, so definitely check out that. But yeah, the TLDR is we've still got no idea when the hell it's going to be coming out. We're going to be having a monthly assessment of whether it's worthy to be released to the public, so hopefully it should come out this year. And like I said, it's better to have a decent game than a War Z. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, as I'm curious as to what everyone thinks about this. I guess it's somewhat controversial, and I'm sure people have got different opinions, so yeah, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.